Hi, and welcome to BSIA The Voice podcast. I'm delighted to welcome into the studio Rob Whiffing, who is the Managing Director of Sentinel Group Security. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Wonderful to have you in our studio today. Tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us about yourself and Sentinel Group.
No problem. So I had absolutely no desire to be in security. I would decide I was going to do hotel and catering. And I spent sort of 10 years in high-end catering establishments, mostly in the City of London. And then I took, as most people do, a little diversion, and I thought I'd just pass through security, and here I am.
There's no
30 years later. Yeah. No, so I think nearly 30 years in the industry. So been within smaller companies that got absorbed by larger international companies. Moved from contract manager through to area manager, regional directors, and then thought I'll take a complete break away from that. And I went into some, I guess, more charitable pieces where I could find a bit of fulfillment in my role, which I thought was amazing. But just like The Godfather, they pulled me back in. And I joined with some great colleagues, ex-colleagues. They actually encouraged me to come back, and I took on a less operational role, more of an advisory capacity, and eventually moved into working with Sentinel Group. And I've been with Sentinel Group now for about 8 years. Started, I guess, it's been our 20th year now. So the owner, Zafar, has kept this business going from setting up rosters around his kitchen table and getting people deployed to high-end sort of West End hotels to being a multi-million-pound company now, which is a massive success for him. Over the last 8 years, we've grown, probably tripled, maybe a little bit more in size, but we've got some very big expectations for the next sort of 10 years.
Fabulous news. So security officers,
yes,
is your bread and butter.
It is.
What sort of challenges do you guys face at the moment?
I think security officers are invisible. They are unloved, and they're certainly not respected as a career choice. I think, as I said, most people pass through. I don't think I'm going to wake up, I want to be a security officer, and that's just a role that they can take on. Licensing has helped. I think that's brought a bit of regulation to the industry. I'm not sure it's given it quite the credence they were expecting. You know, there's not a skill that you're taking with that card, not like a Corby or an NIC sort of trade with that. But it does give legitimacy, I think, to some of the front lines. For my purpose, we're a relatively small company, in the grand scheme, and we're in the sort of top 70, so quite chuffed with that. But I have the opportunity to spend a lot of time with frontline officers, particularly giving sort of awards and long service recognition. I think it's important that they get to see everybody, not just their local manager, but they get to see everyone within the business. With the size of our company, I'm able to do that.
That's lovely. So you talk about your sort of giving your officers recognition.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? What sort of incentive programs do you have?
So the last couple of years, since I took on this role, we've added a few elements of recognition. I think probably the newest one for us was long service. Now we're only 20 years old, so I've given one 20-year badge out, and that's to the owner. So he's the first one who's had that. But it's a proud moment to be able to give that. It's your business, and here, thank you. This is recognising you. Multiple officers now have had their 5-year badge, which is, I guess I must be into sort of 30-odd officers I've seen over the last sort of 18 months pushing those out, along with some 15-year sort of badges as well. For most people, we only look at the length of time they've been with our business. It's an incestuous business. People transfer choopy. That doesn't mean quite so much to us. But if they stayed with us, then obviously we've done something okay, and they've also been fantastic for us. So to spend a bit of time to go out and offer a lapel badge, again, it's received in the way it's been given. They might wear it, they might put it on their lanyard, might put it on their jacket, might put it in the drawer. That doesn't matter, as long as they accepted it the way it was given.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we recognise that officers, most of our officers will come in and do a fantastic job day in, day out. Nothing special. They didn't dive into a canal to save a child. They didn't do anything. This was just doing a good job for customers. And they get lost. So we've introduced micro gifting, which is just a simple thank you. And that could be a coffee they can get from, sort of Nero's or whatever. Or probably the most favourite is a sausage roll from Greg's. So they can have it whenever they want. They've got a year to take it, but it's just thank you. Yeah. You're doing a great job. Keep doing it. The customer loves you. Thank you very much. When I do that extra thing, and it could just be exceptional customer service. It could be stepping in because it was raining and bringing the umbrella out or whatever. Something simple. We ask for that to come back from the customers or from end users as a sort of feedback of value for us. And we have values within our business, and we recognise values awards with a financial gift through sort of Amazon vouchers. I mean, you can pretty much get anything you like from Amazon these days. And again, another sort of lapel badge. It's not like going to Disneyland and you collect all these badges down your land, but it is there as a recognition. And when someone goes, "Why have you got that then?" Well, it's a values award, and we can explain why that's happened. And then when that gets to something that's a little bit more exceptional, depending on the environment, depends on whether you actually get put into that sort of situation. We have the honour of being able to put people forward for national awards, whether that's the Pace Setters or the BSA. I think we have now 2 for the women in security as well, and there'll be later ones in the year. So it's nice to be able to actually talk about what people have done on the front line, what some of our managers have been able to do, and then to show off about our business as well, because it's always good to see them.
I was at the ACS Pace Setters Awards with you recently.
Phenomenal.
Obviously, Ron was celebrated.
Yes.
That was a phenomenal moment.
Yeah, I was so chuffed for Ron. I mean, he was surrounded by his peers who were just exceptional individuals, and thankfully, most people don't have to be put in the situation that they were put in, where they did the acts they did, which were, in my head, completely heroic. And Ron, to be recognised within that group was amazing. And I was so pleased for him, because he's a very humble guy. Very polite and courteous, and his actions on his side have made everyone feel safe. For what has the potential to be quite a volatile sort of situations, he's in there, his calming manner, and genuinely, what a nice guy.
Great guy. He really is a great guy. And obviously, you have finalists in the British Security Awards.
Yes.
The BSIA
Yeah.
Awards.
Very excited.
Can't wait to celebrate with you that day as well. Just recognition of what security officers are doing. I think it's so valuable.
Definitely.
And these guys just go above and beyond.
They do.
A day.
Yeah, and we've got frontline officers. We've got a manager in there as well, which is excellent. Again, it's useful to recognise people who are in the industry that are helping support all the frontline teams. And we did I think we've got a couple of the business-related sort of awards that we've been nominated for as well, which is nice to see that the rest of the business, the things that we're trying to take on for the industry, have been recognised.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So talking about BSIA, obviously you're a BSIA member.
Yes.
How does that affect your business? What does that mean to you as a business to be part of BSIA?
Well, I think to be fair, traditionally we probably wouldn't have considered too much of a positive feedback about having become a member. We felt it was something we needed to do initially. My predecessor and through myself, with a lot of the meetings and engagement, we've now recognised what the association actually does, and I think it's fair to say that most of the members probably don't know what you do. So there you go. That's a takeaway, to try and do a bit more of the communication.
That's our mission. Is
we have to read it and have to digest it, but it's down to us to understand what you are doing for us. And I think it came to a head for me, particularly with some changes with the SIA licensing, particularly around CCTV. And how we were then audited as a business, and I was able to get hold of John and say, look, I've got this. I don't understand what's happening. Is this new? and you were able to take that up as our membership, as an association. We're not happy. Our members have a problem with it, and what's going on, and that has actually got a lot more sort of wheels in motion to try and resolve that for us, I think, which is good. So it's when I first joined, probably I didn't understand why, and now it's invaluable.
Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic to hear. That's really, really, really heartwarming. So what are the plans for Sentinel Group? What's on the horizon?
This time next year? Exactly. I think Isle of Wight first, and then we'll sort of progress through the rest of the country. We cover UK and Northern Ireland. We have a dormant company that looks after Republic of Ireland, which of course then allows us into Europe and do other bits and pieces. So I think the biggest venture for us is the next sort of 5 years to look again at tripling where we are. So it's been a journey to get to here. We need to keep that momentum going. Ideally, that would be organic. That is a challenge, and I think we're not alone in that challenge.
Yeah.
So there may be a sensible look at sort of the companies where acquisition might be something that's sensible, that particularly if they've got services we don't have, and then we can add that as a bolt-on. It's a hard journey, I think, because everybody has access to the public tenders, and that's quite a hard set of section to be in, because everyone's fighting to get to the lowest price. Why would anyone pay? Well, public purse, they can't spend more than the cheapest option. So it's all about price, even if the procurement actors now say that's changed. In the end, you can't really spend more than the cheapest. So I think for our purposes, to move away and have quality recognised, then we would need to be in the private sector market. And that is a huge challenge, because unlike public sector, you have no idea where they are when they're coming out to tender. There's no centralised location. This is all about relationships and networking. And so we've now built quite a large team around making that happen. And so we are out there. You'll see me on LinkedIn doing loads of weird and wonderful things, whether it's a video or posting. But the whole of the board and our business development teams are engaged in getting out there and understanding what is available to us and how we can help private sector companies.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like it's very exciting times ahead.
It is very.
Looking forward to seeing you guys grow. So thank you so much for joining me today in the studio. Lovely to have you on board The Voice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.